My friends, you're about to meet Arthur Knight, the man, the myth, the legend. This place is a Northwest Indiana institution. I hope you enjoy it. I had a blast making it. Hello, Silver fans. This is T, and you're in the place to be for Silver education, acquisition, and entertainment. Hey, we are at Arthur Knight's place in Hobart, Indiana, and boy, oh boy, this is like stepping back in time. You are going to learn a lot. You are going to see an absolute honey hole of a coin shop, and if you enjoy coin shop videos, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Hey, I make a whole bunch of these videos all over the place, and this is one of my absolute best. Sit back and enjoy. Tea. Okay, Mr. Arthur Knight, I feel like I should call you Sir Arthur Knight.
Oh, okay, thank
you. You've been in the coin business a long time. Let me just say it's quite an honor to have the opportunity to speak with someone of your stature in the coin collecting and precious metals community. Thank you for granting me this interview.
And thank you for having me. Oh, there goes the phone nonstop.
You're open for business. And, we're going to kind of work around. If you have customers, we need to pause. We certainly can.
Okay.
Why don't you start by telling me a little bit about the history of your coin collecting and accumulation of precious metals. When did you start?
Also, I've always been a collector. In kindergarten, I collected bottle caps and marbles, and then stamp collecting, and then coins, put Lincoln cents in the little blue folders then and filled the spaces up when I was about 7 years old.
Okay.
And so,
are you originally from the region here?
Originally from Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
And had the first store was in Gary from 1966 through 1972.
Wow.
I moved in 1972 to Hobart at 301 Main Street. Was there for at least 25 years. I had two stores for a while across the street, and this was called the Jewel Shop, and the owner passed away. So I had two shops, really three. I had another store in Illinois, so for a while I had three stores and got a little bit too much. So down to one right now, getting tired.
Yeah. And so you've been in it since the 60s.
So I started in Gary, Indiana in 1966 full time. I always was buying and selling at auctions and the coin clubs. So I always was playing the game, in other words.
Yeah. Building
my collection and selling my extra coins. And then I put everything away. Full-time student at Valparaiso University. Had a junky 57 Chevy. It was all rusted out, and it was not really good on a date because it was so rusted out. I had a piece of plywood on the floor so you wouldn't fall through. So took my coin collection and sold it. Got a brand new car.
Wow.
And I saw you could turn the coins into money very easily. So that's kind of a start.
Wow.
So that's ancient history. So back in 1965. A Chevy Impala listed like $2,900. I think I ended up like at $2,350 for a brand new car. So shows you how coins have gone up, and so has car prices.
I used to own a '64 SS.
Okay,
black
see?
on black, and boy,
nice.
I love that car.
Oh yeah, so that's changed my status as a chick. Your car was important then.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, from owning a car that had rusted out floorboards to a coin dynasty, you've come a long way, sir.
Okay, thank you.
This shop, a former bank, how cool is that? Very unique in many respects. It allows you to have a nice vault there behind you.
Yeah, that's where I wanted from across the street, and I always saw this when it was available. I thought I better grab it. So the history of the building was built in 1890, and so the building's very old and falling apart. It put a new roof on, fixed it up. Hopefully it holds up, but it's like built like a fort. The floor, we tried to run another phone line. It's like reinforced concrete. You couldn't get through it. So it's still standing, and some of the other buildings in Hobart have fallen in because they're over 100 years old.
Let's talk a little bit about coin collecting. How has it changed over the years? How would you summarize?
Well, what you're doing is helping me because we used to have ads in the phone book, which nobody reads the phone book anymore.
Oh.
And so I'm happy that you're on YouTube, and I do have a young man that does my eBay and the computer things, because that's the new world where
Yes.
you don't need a store anymore. All you need is a computer and maybe a safe for safekeeping, and so the world has changed.
It certainly has, and I've made coin shop videos just like this one, literally all over the country. I'd like to see coin shops like yours stay open through the decades for people to enjoy for years to come. There's something special about walking in a coin shop and taking time to peruse and snoop and see what deals you can find and neat old stuff.
Okay.
How about silver stacking? I mentioned that term to you a little while ago. You hadn't heard of silver stacking. What was the accumulation of silver?
So it's different than coin collecting now. People are saving silver bars, and they're even looking for older silver bars.
Right.
And then I did have some silver bars, I think it's from Scottsdale, Arizona, that they'll like little bricks, and you could stack them up. So that's the only thing that I remember about silver stacking, because they were
Literally stacking.
stackable.
Yeah.
So that may be a good gimmick for their product,
Yeah.
which I didn't realize. That's maybe a new term, silver stacking.
Yeah, I think it's over the last 4 years or so. And to your point, the internet has brought a lot of people into the hobby of coin collecting and the lifestyle of silver stacking, or the accumulation of silver and gold and other precious metals. Was there a term for people who acquired and just hoarded away silver and gold prior to silver stacking?
Well, maybe we'd call people gold bugs if they were, buying gold. They were a gold bug, which is real money rather than the paper we have now.
Yeah. That's and I looked at one of your $20 bills. There says in gold coin, and
so that's when you could turn this in for real gold, but not anymore.
Yeah, that's quite a relic from the past, that's for sure. We talked a little bit about new people coming into coin collecting, silver stacking, and they're walking into coin shops for the first time. Do you have any advice for people walking into a coin shop for the first time regarding etiquette? What are the do's and don'ts, or are there any?
Oh, yes, absolutely. When I was 15 and going to Chicago and trying to look for a bargain, and I remember to one old-time dealer, I says to him, "I'll give you $20 for your coin." And he says, "You do not say that to me, that you'll give me. You say, will you take $20? So there's ways of being rude that I didn't realize, and so there is etiquette in bargaining. And some of the people, when we orally set on a price, and then when they change their mind, that upsets me, because now I'm the old timer and telling them they need to have their etiquette or manners.
So there is some room to negotiate in prices?
Yes, but in a nice way, not a...
You're not at a flea market.
Yeah,
walking
well,
around the
that's
market.
it. The pickers, they always say, "What are you thinking?" In other words, you're going to give up your price on your rare antique, and what are you thinking? So they come into me because they're watching the pickers on TV, and they're going to be a bargainer. And it depends what mood I'm in or what time of day it is. Maybe I'll put up with it for a bit.
I hear, you have a little less patience at lunchtime.
Well, that's it. We have typical nobody in for an hour, and as soon as lunch comes, we have 8 people coming in at once. And then I'm not in a very good mood, because when I get back, all my French fries have died.
Well, for someone who's been in it that long, sir, you have that right to run your shop the way you do. Let's talk a little bit about the economy. There's been so much money printing in the last couple of years. inflation's through the roof. They quote us numbers. We all know those numbers are really higher. Considering what's going on in the world, can you imagine silver going back up to $50 like it did in 1980 or 2011?
Absolutely. It's just the supply chain. Similarly, people will come in and they say, well, an ounce of silver on the computer is $25. Well, sorry, I can't sell it for that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where you should buy it. Well, they're all out, though. They're all out at $25. Well, that's the reason. So, I want to buy gas at, $1.50 a gallon, but they won't sell it to me for $1.50 a gallon. The manipulators, the billionaires control the market, and the price you see there is not the real price for 1 ounce of silver. That's a contract of 5,000 ounces on paper. That's mainly a commodity price.
Right.
And you could go to a commodity broker and you could buy it for that price, but you get a piece of paper.
What advice would you have for young people regarding silver and gold?
Basically, do your homework, have some business sense, do the research first. Get some of the basic supply and demand things. The point would be the big guys control the big prices, and the real market is the little guys.
Right.
So when silver went down to $12 an ounce, nobody was selling. That was the on paper price. So that's where's the real price?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you 3 different precious metals.
Okay.
Give me your thoughts. The first thought that crosses your mind, feel free to expound a little bit if you'd like, but regarding gold.
Well, gold is real money, even back in Roman times, and it's still money, and it's valuable because it doesn't rust, it doesn't evaporate, and you can put it in your hand, unlike a Bitcoin, which is what's that? I still don't understand that. So gold is money.
Yes. Silver.
Silver, similarly, and silver, like you say, a lot of uses for the mirrors that make the solar panels. Silver spoons were made because silver is safe because germs can't stick to silver. That's why people had silver spoons. So a lot of uses for silver, and silver, I think, is very underpriced compared to gold right now.
I think it's underpriced as well. How about platinum?
Platinum, 10 times as scarce as gold, but not priced. A very tough market to buy and sell, a very thin market compared to gold and silver. It's probably underpriced right now. It's more of an industrial metal than a metal for making jewelry and other things, but very precious, of course.
Okay, another stacking question. What are you charging over spot for generic silver, like generic rounds? I assume you have some generic rounds. And, do you have any in stock today?
Yeah, I see right now I have my sell price, a little note that I'm selling at $31.
Okay.
I did order 500 for a well-known client, and I worked on like a 25 cents commission because he paid me all the money, and I got him in a week or so. But most of the bigger dealers for the 1 ounce silver, they're sold out.
Okay.
And the premium is big, especially the premium on the Silver Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
The first ones came out, I had to pay $9 over, and I bought 500, and the last batch, I think about $11 over the spot price.
Speaking of big orders, I have it on good authority that you are the guy that the other dealers in Northwest Indiana come to when they need something. Is that true? You don't have to name names.
I've got over 50 years worth of stuff, and so they have a list. I should have something. It's a matter of where did I put it. So if they, so they have a list of somebody what they need coins.
Sure.
Supply is short.
Right. I everywhere from here to South Florida, supply seems to be short, especially in junk silver. Do you have any junk silver for sale today?
Yeah, like quarters and dimes that are 90% silver.
Yes.
Yeah, I got several thousand face of it, and
Oh, wow.
not giving it away. So
Sure. In some ways, I kind of see you as the, sitting on a mountain of silver and gold here. Let me ask the final question here. Do you ever plan to retire, or are you just having too much fun here?
well, it's not like work. In other words, when I was young, I worked in the steel mill, and I couldn't wait till 4 o'clock to get out of the place. And what am I going to do? Sit home and watch TV if I'm retired?
Good for you. Good
So
for
it's-
you, sir.
So I'm trying, but a lot of health problems, so I'm not here every day. I've got to see the doctors, but I'm still moving.
Well, I'm glad you're still moving. I'm glad you're here today. And I'll tell you what, Mr. Knight, it's been an absolute pleasure. You've been, someone that everyone in Northwest Indiana who knows anything about coins respects and admires. And thank you so much for the time.
And thank you.